Hey there, this is LaQuita with QuitabugHandmades.com, and thank you so much for joining me today. I am so excited to announce the first feature of August Club Quitabug, which is the Crafting Forever stamp set. I love this set, you guys. There are some really great images and sentiment in this set, and I think you're going to really enjoy it. So let's go ahead and take a look at the free card kit, and I'll give you all the details about Club Quitabug as we go. Alright, so as usual, all you have to do in order to be a Club Quitabug member and receive this free card kit from me is place a minimum $35 order before shipping and tax in my online Stampin' Up! Store using the hostess code that I have placed here on the screen. Make sure that you use that hostess code and that you get your minimum order in by August 15th, 2017, and you can receive this free Crafting Forever card kit in the mail directly from me. So in addition to using the Crafting Forever stamp set to complete this free card kit, I am also using 4 ink pads. So I'm using Crushed Curry, Flirty Flamingo, Emerald Envy, and Basic Black Archival ink. And then I'm also using my Basic Black Stampin' Right marker as well as a blender pen. And then of course you'll also want to have some of your favorite adhesives on hand as well. Alright, so let's take a look at the projects included in the Crafting Forever free card kit. So here is card number 1. We're going to be making 3 different cards using this kit, but I absolutely love this card. We are cut out to be friends. Very bright and colorful, simple and clean, but bright and colorful. And I'm going to show you a quick little tip on how to stamp your sentiment in 2 different ink colors. And here you can see I've got some of the Pick a Pattern Designer Series paper here in the back. Love that. And here's card number 2. I think this one is probably my favorite one in the kit, but this one says Crafting Forever, Housework Whenever. I love this card. I love the embossing. I don't know if you can see that. There you go. You can see the embossing in the background. You can see the little bit of some more of that Pick a Pattern Designer Series paper here. You've got the doily, and then did a little bit of hand cutting on these little twine spools. I absolutely love how this card turned out. That Flirty Flamingo just looks so cute on this card. And then here's card number 3. Do something creative every day. Love this one as well. It's clean and simple, but a lot of color here with the coloring there on the brushes. So that's when the blender pen is going to come in handy. So absolutely love this card, and I've got some of the Emerald Envy ribbon here. Love how this one turned out. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started making card number 1. So I've got all of your materials packed nicely in the kit. Remember, no stamped images come in your kit. That's why I recommend that you purchase the stamp set. At the very bottom of your stack, you're going to notice you have a PDF here, full color PDF that's included for club members. That always comes in your kit. And then you've also got 3 of our medium Whisper White envelopes included in your kit as well. And then I've just laid out all of the pieces for each card nice and neat for you guys. So let's go ahead and start with card number 1. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and take out this little oval piece. We're going to stamp this piece first. So I'm going to bring in that We Are Cut Out to Be Friends stamp, and then what I'm going to do is I've got some washi tape. This is actually some washi tape from the July Paper Pumpkin Kit. I'm just going to tear off a piece of that washi tape, and I'm going to cover up the part of the sentiment that says we are cut out to be. So I'm just going to put some tape right over that because I want that part to be in black, but I want the word friends to be in Flirty Flamingo. Okay, there we go. So you can see here that I've just got some washi tape right over that, covering it up. Now I'm going to bring in my Flirty Flamingo ink pad, and I'm just going to ink this word friends up, just like that. And then I'm going to peel off the washi tape. And now I'm going to bring in my Basic Black Stampin' Right marker, and I'm just going to ink up the rest of the stamp in Basic Black. Okay. So now I've got Basic Black on the top and Flirty Flamingo at the bottom. I'm just going to add a little breath, and I'm going to stamp this in the upper left-hand corner right about there. There we go. And now you've got one sentiment stamped in 2 different colors of ink. I love how that looks. And now I'm going to come in with my basic black archival ink, and I'm going to stamp the little pair of scissors. I love this little scissor image. So cute. And I'm going to stamp that over here at an angle off to the right. Just like that. Perfect. All right, so the basic black archival ink does take a little bit longer to dry, so I'm going to set that to the side and let it dry. Be careful when you open your kit, because on the top you do have a little metallic enamel shape heart here, so you don't want to lose that when you open your kit, so be careful. So now let's go ahead and just start assembling the rest of the pieces. So I'm going to add my designer paper. You could use this side if you'd like. I'm going to add my designer paper to my piece of basic black. Okay, got that layered on. So now I'm just going to flip that over and add this layer to the front of my card. And this card base is a piece of crushed curry cardstock. And now I've just got my bone folder here, and I'm going to give this card a nice crease. All right, so now I'm going to take my little piece of, this is some Dazzling Diamonds glimmer paper. I don't know if you can see that. I love this glimmer paper, so pretty. I'm going to take that and adhere this down using Fast Fuse. We're just going to go right across the middle here. Make sure I get this straight. Yep, that looks good. Okay, and now we can go ahead and adhere our sentiment to the Flirty Flamingo scalloped oval. All right, so I'm just going to add a few dimensionals here onto the back, just like that. And we'll just add this layer right onto the front of our card. And now I'm just going to use my paper piercer and pick up the little enamel heart that comes in the kit. And I'm just going to pop that right there. And there we go. That finishes up card number 1. I love this card. So cute. So here is my original, and I also decorated my envelope. I just added the little pair of scissors, and then I stamped the image from the stamp set that says Made with Love. I went ahead and stamped that on the back flap. I thought that would be a cute little touch to the back. And then there we go. Card number 1 complete. Let's go ahead and go on to card number 2. All right, so I've got my supplies here for card number 2. So I'm going to bring in all of these pieces of Whisper White here, and we're going to go ahead and get our stamping out of the way. All right, so I'm going to start by stamping in basic black archival ink. That way this has time to dry. So I'm going to go ahead and ink up the sentiment, Crafting Forever, Housework Whenever. Ink that up really well, and I'm going to stamp this off to the right of this smaller piece of Whisper White. You've got 2 rectangular pieces. So on the smaller piece, you want to stamp that off to the right, just like that. Perfect. And then bring in the longer strip, and you're going to bring in that little spool of twine, and we're going to ink that up and stamp that on this little scrap piece. We're going to stamp it once here, and then I'm just going to flip it around and stamp it again on this side, just like that. And then I'm going to bring in my Flirty Flamingo ink, and we're going to stamp the little ribbon spool towards the top of this stitched oval die cut here. We're going to stamp that kind of towards the top. Well, not kind of. We're going to stamp it towards the top, right about there. Should be good. Perfect. Okay, so now what you want to do is take the two little spools that we stamped in the basic black, bring in your paper snips, and we're just going to cut around the outside of these two spools and cut them out. So one tip to making cutting quick and easy is move your paper, not your scissors. If you move your paper instead of the scissors, it makes it a lot easier on your hand to cut this out, and it'll be a lot faster. And just go ahead and leave a little bit of a white border around as you cut this out. All right, so I've got both of my little twine spools all hand cut out. These are so cute. So what we're gonna do now is go ahead and start assembling the rest of the card. So I've got a Whisper White thick card base here. I'm just going to give this a nice tight crease. There we go. And I'm just adding some fast fuse to the back of this embossed piece of Flirty Flamingo. And again, remember, all of the measurements are available on the exclusive PDF included in your club kit. Okay, there we go. So I've got that added on. I just love that embossing. I hope you guys can see that. There we go. I love that. Alrighty, and so then I'm going to take, let's see, this piece of designer paper. You could use whichever side you want, but I want to use this. I want to use the side that has the black and white. And I'm just going to go ahead and add this little doily down. Let's see. I think I want it to hang like that. A little bit higher up. Let's see. Nope, looks like it's gonna have to stay there. Okay, there we go. So I'll just add a little bit of fuse right there, and then pop a little bit more right here. There we go. And we'll just add this on, going right across the Flirty Flamingo piece. Right about there, looks good. Okay, there we go. And now I'm just gonna add some fast fuse to my sentiment piece as well. And we'll just center that up across that designer paper, right about there, looks good. All right, so now I'm gonna take my little oval piece, and I want this little spool to be flat on this layer. So I'm just going to add that on. Oh, let's see. I want it to kind of hang off a little bit too. Add that on right about there, looks good. Okay, then I'm gonna use some of our new mini dimensionals here. I'm gonna use some of these and add them onto the back of this other little spool here. These are so tiny. I love these. Okay, that should be good. All right, so I've got my little mini dimensionals on the back there, and then I'm just going to add this on. Let's see, I think I want it right there, looks good. And now on the back of this entire layer, I'm just going to add some more dimensionals. Lots of dimension on this card. All right, got the dimensionals on the back of that layer, and we'll just add this on at an angle. Right about there looks good to me. All right, and that finishes up card number 2. I love how this card turned out. Let me just bring in my original, and there we go. And I also went ahead and decorated my envelope as well using the Flirty Flamingo. So let's go ahead and go on to card number 3. All right, so I've got my pieces here for card number 3. So I'm gonna start by taking out these two pieces of Whisper White. You've got one piece here that I've gone ahead and punched out for you using the Pretty Label punch. So go ahead and take that out. And then I'm gonna bring in my basic black archival ink. I wanna go ahead and stamp the little container of paint brushes in my basic black, because we are gonna do some watercoloring with this using our blender pen. So I want to go ahead and give this a chance to start drying. So just stamp that right in the center. Looks good. Then bring in that stamp that says do something creative Every Day, ink that up in the basic black as well, or you could use another color if you wanted to use the Emerald Envy. You could do that too. I'm just going to go ahead and do basic black, and I'm going to stamp that right in the center, right about there. Okay, that looks good. All right, so what I'm going to do now is bring in my crushed curry ink pad. I've just squeezed a little bit of ink into the lid, and I've got my blender pen here. Let's see, I'm going to use this side, and I'm just going to pick up a little bit of that ink, and I'm going to go ahead and start coloring in my brushes here. And what I want to do is I'm going to do crushed curry. I'm going to do it in a pattern: crushed curry, flirty flamingo, emerald envy. Then I'll do another crushed curry. Then let's see, flirty flamingo, emerald envy, crushed curry. All right, so I've colored in all of my crushed curry pieces there. So I'm just gonna clean my blender pen on some scratch paper, and we're finished with the crushed curry. And let me just bring that in and show you up close so you can see the crushed curry is complete. So now I'm gonna go on and do the flirty flamingo. So again, squeeze, squeeze, then open up your little palette here, bring back my blender pen, go in and start coloring in my flirty flamingo brushes. All right, so I've got my flirty flamingo bits colored in, so I'll just clean off my brush again. Close up my ink pad, and let me bring that in so you can see. And just make sure that when you're coloring in with your blender pen that you're not leaving your pen, you're not going over and over and over again, because this is regular Whisper White, and you'll start to notice your paper will begin to peel. So you don't want that. All right, I've got my Emerald Envy, just squeezed a little ink there into the lid. Bring out my blender pen, and let's finish up these brushes. Alrighty, so I've got all of that Emerald Envy. Just clean off my brush tip here. Okay. Close up my ink pad. And there's an up close view. So now we're gonna go ahead and bring in the basic black again. Now I don't need to squeeze my basic black. It's got a lot in the lid. So I'm actually going to leave the lid like this, because I can squeeze my blender pen in there. So I've got a tip that is specifically only for basic black, because this does pretty much just take over the tip of the brush. I found it kind of hard to get it out of there, so I just made it a tip just for basic black. So I'm just going to get a little bit of that ink, and I want to get this right here. Let's get a little bit of that off of there. Get this blade here. Okay, and then I'm also going to kind of color in the pot a little bit. Just kind of bring ink in and just swipe it. I just want a very light bit of color on the pot. All right, so I'm finished with the basic black, so I can go ahead and close that up. All right, so right now the little pot does look like it has a lot of little streaks in there. You can see the stroke of the blender pen, but that's okay. This, when it dries, it will dry smoothly. It did on my project sample, so don't worry about that if yours looks that way as well. All right, let's bring in the rest of this card and let's finish up. So again, Whisper White Thick card base, giving that a nice tight crease. Now I'm gonna take this piece of Emerald Envy cardstock, I'm gonna flip that over and I'm gonna add some dimensionals to the back of this layer. Now this card does have a lot of dimension. If you are worried about postage, you might want to decrease all of the dimension. I don't mind paying a little extra for postage, but if that's a concern, you could just put this on flat. Put these layers on flat and just only raise up one part of the card. And I've got my fast fuse. I'm just going to add a little bit of fast fuse down here at the bottom. Then you've got this little strip here of Emerald Envy ribbon. And I'm just going to put that right about there. Flip it over and stick it down. And again, I'm going to bring in some dimensionals for this layer. All right, so I've got dimensionals on the back of that layer. And I'm gonna go ahead and add that right on top here of my Emerald Envy layer, right about there. Okay, I think that looks good. So now we'll take our Do Something Everyday sentiment and guess what? More dimensionals. Alrighty, but again, you can add more or less dimension. It's totally up to you. So I'm just going to put the sentiment right about there in the center. Okay, there we go, and that's so cute. I really love this card. So cute. So now the last step for this card, you've got some of our Whisper White Baker's Twine included in the kit. So I'm just gonna double that over, take my scissors and give it a snip, and then just run my scissors along the edge to kind of take the kinks out. And then I'm just gonna tie this doubled over into a bow. All right, so I think I've got my bow how I want it. So I'm just going to bring in my glue dots here, fold this glue dot over just like that. And I'll just put that in the center here of my pot, right about there. And I'll just press my bow right into that, just like so. Okay, and then bring in my scissors and I'll just trim up these ends a little bit. Okay, all right, there we go. And that finishes up card number 3. I love this card, so cute. So let me just bring in the original. And there it is. I also went ahead and decorated my envelope. I just added an Emerald Envy, a little bit of that brush cup, and then of course the Made with Love on the back flap. And there you go, card number 3 complete. All right, and there you have it. There is the first feature of August Club Quitabug Crafting Forever. I hope that you guys really love this stamp set as much as I do, and I hope that you love this free card kit as much as I enjoyed creating it. So remember, all you have to do in order to receive your free card kit in the mail from me is place a minimum $35 order in my online Stampin' Up! Store. That's $35 before shipping and tax. Make sure that you use the hostess code that I have placed here on the screen when you place your order. That's how I'll know that you're wanting to be a Club Quitabug member and receive your Crafting Forever free card kit in the mail from me. Remember, your kit will also include a free copy of the new holiday catalog, which goes live September 1st, 2017. And don't forget, this kit is only available until August 15th. So if you're interested in receiving this free card kit from me, make sure that your order is placed between August 1st, 2017 and August 15th of 2017 using that host code in order to receive your free card kit. So again, thank you so much for joining me today, you guys. I appreciate you so very much. Remember, if you have any questions about Club Quitabug or anything else, please feel free to reach out. I love hearing from you all, and I'll get those questions answered. And I hope you have a great day, and I'll be back with you guys again soon. Bye now.